Now, when the markers were first introduced to the game, that, when players were bounty hunting you because you had crime stat, I was very opposed to this. Basically giving away your exact location anywhere in the universe, as you can see, even when you're out EVAing. This is, quite frankly, just ridiculous. But what follows on is something that is far more ridiculous. Is that when you get killed, of course, now you go to prison. And when you get to prison, one of the first things that you're faced with is how long you're going to have to spend in prison. So you go up, you check the panel, and you're like, 4 hours. Well, what is that 4 hours going to be filled with? Well, you can knock it down. You can go out, you can mine for resources, and lower your sentence. Or you can basically do what I did, which is log off and go play something else and say, I guess I'll come back tomorrow and start again. So let's go play another game, right? We're talking about Star Citizen here. We want to play Star Citizen. Star Citizen's what we want to talk about, but now we can't play Star Citizen because we have a choice of jumping through an overly elaborate platforming maze in semi-gravitational conditions. Gravity is kind of not exactly working on that moon, or not quite up to Earth standards. And character movement and all that is jank, to say the least. So what do we end up doing? Do we just sit there, or we got a timer that says, you're here for 4 hours? What do? You just go play another game. And many of us Star Citizen backers out there have a plethora of game possibilities open to them. There's many games that we play. It's one of the things that has kept those of us who are completely sane, or as close to it as possible in the Star Citizen community, is what's kind of kept most of us level-headed, is the fact that, we have other games that we can play. For me, WoW, World of Tanks, and other things as well. So it's no real great hardship for me to just look at a timer and just say, F it, I'm going to go do something else. And you really have to start asking what's the wisdom behind a game design that actively says you might as well go play a different game. That's actually kind of spectacularly dumb. What should prison be? What should prison gameplay be in Star Citizen? And should it be this kind of platforming maze? No, it really shouldn't. I mean, once again, that requires you to have another player who's going to kind of come in, pick you up, take you out of there. If none of that is available to you at that very moment, you're just not going to engage with it at all. So how do you get players to engage with prison gameplay? How do you make it rewarding and worthwhile? Luckily, I have some suggestions. First of all, the idea of platforming your way out of the prison is dumb. It's absolutely stupid. What you should in fact be doing is cobbling together enough little bits and bobs of technology to make yourself your own hacking chip or little hacking panel. This is something that we could actually build gameplay out of in the future. Now, first things first, we have to go around within the prison, within the mines maybe as well, going to various pieces of equipment that have been somewhat broken or been left behind, some of the air or oxygen dispensers, the food dispensers, the tool dispensers, and basically salvage little components from them. Take your multi-tool and rejig all of that into maybe some kind of hacking tool. Put all of that together, give players something to engage their minds with when they're doing these things. Get all of this together, and then maybe you can kind of jump through that broken fan and find access to a panel that allows you to access the prison's systems. And you can go and start to hack your crime stat down. It's not the perfect tool, it's not the ideal tool, but maybe it's enough of a tool that it allows you to kind of really, not as quickly as with a proper hacking tool, but it allows you to work your sentence down that way by making it think, oh, he's being a good prisoner. Oh, he's fixing, panels. He's going out and he's mining Hadanite, even if you're not. Something like that keeps the player engaged with the game. If you just sit there and give the player a cooldown and say, well, you might as well slowly chip away at this mining, no player's going to engage with that system. They're just going to go, oh, well, time to log off. See you tomorrow, because that's what everybody does. In the beginning, we all had fun trying to escape from the prison, but one of the things that we learned while doing that was it's not worth it. There's other things to do, so why bother? And while we're talking about this, I mean, like, you're talking, like, this is a player, myself in particular, who has done mythic raiding, and anybody who knows what kind of grind that is and what kind of hard work that is, not only just to do the actual raid, but to get your character in a place where they can do that thing, understands that I'm willing to commit a lot of time and a lot of resources to something that I love to do. Escaping from prison is something that I did once for fun, and then I went, oh well, I've done it and I'm never going to come back to it again. Giving players an active way to kind of escape from prison, and then giving them a reward, like saying the prison jumpsuit or the prison spacesuit that you get, the environmental suit, letting us keep that as a permanent part of our account. Like, you've escaped from prison and here's your kind of badge of honor for having done so. That would be great. That is something that would keep me in Star Citizen. That would keep me chasing that goal, rather than just taking it away from me and saying, oh well, there's a lot of people out there, I know I'm not the only one, who were brutally disappointed in the fact that we weren't allowed to keep that it was just kind of taken away from us. The key to kind of keeping people engaged with your game is to make your game sticky, is to make your game worth playing. There's a lot of games that, if it wasn't for the things that I've earned or the things that I've achieved in those games, I would probably have set aside out of boredom. But even through the tough times, when they were particularly boring or particularly unbalanced, I stuck through it because I've achieved so much in that game and I have so many unique things that it kind of keeps me interested. And chasing after those unique things is another gameplay loop that, unfortunately, a lot of game development companies just don't understand. They really just don't understand. They really cheap out on these things, or they do something stupid like putting them on a cash shop instead of locking them behind achievements where they should be. The prison outfit, if you gave players a way to hack their way out of prison, to have to go and find and collect all the pieces to make the tool to then go in and hack their crime stat down, have to find a panel hidden away somewhere where the guards won't see them, where they can go and they can use this tool to hack down their crime stat, and then letting them, if they do that and they successfully complete that, keep their prison outfit, 1, and 2, maybe even keep the tool, so that even though it's other hacking chips would be faster, now you have this permanent hacking tool attached to your account that you get to keep. That would be something really, really great. Now, I've always been somebody who supported the idea of putting prisons in Star Citizen. Absolutely supported it, because the crime should require a thoughtful approach to it. It shouldn't just be like, oh well, just blow up people on the landing pads. It should be thoughtful. It should require effort. But at the same time, the same thing has to kind of go into the prison system. Putting, hiding things like this that players can cobble together and make, and give players a way to kind of engage with the prison system rather than just mining or mindlessly or logging out of the game, is one of the ways that we do this, that we create a game that ultimately the best solution isn't to just go play something else.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.